That was a little peace to the family. Let me just share this video. Peace. Hope everybody is doing well. Everybody is catching a vibe, feeling great. It is the 29th, and we are going to be discussing the full moon. We'll be discussing the energy of Mayat. And in discussing the energy of Mayat, we're going to do some channeling and some spirituality. And before I kind of get into all that I'm going to get into, what I want to kind of say is spirituality is here to make your life better. There is no hierarchy to spirituality. You are the thing for which you need to study. To whereas I haven't done a lot of videos because it's necessary for the family to understand that they are what it is. And I really hope that y'all can stick around and listen to this message in entirety as we just kind of really deal with the energy of Ma'at. We hear about law, we hear about balance, we hear about these things, but I feel as though we have heard all of these concepts: shadow, trauma, the white man, black people, spirituality, consciousness, wealth, all of these concepts. But do we really, really, truly get it? And over these past couple of months of really studying myself and clearing the way, I live my day with so much clarity. But the reality of this spiritual journey, as we will see later in this build, is that there is a consequence for this spiritual journey, especially if you choose to love. Because love is a serious game, and you can't control another human being. So in understanding love in totality, we really have to break some of these mysteries down and get into the esoteric reality of Ma'at. And this full moon is centered in Ma'at. I've been really reading the Metu Neter, one of my go-to books, and understanding Egyptian mythology, how it relates to astrology, as well as internal practices. So Metu Neter Volume 1, definitely a must-have. It's almost like a Bible when I think about the brevity and how serious and how much information is there. So that's where I'm pulling from, but I'm also using present day and bringing it home. So just thank you everybody that's here. Next week we start doing our heart chakra work. So I'm gonna give y'all a break. I'm not gonna, speak about alchemic academic until a little bit later today. Me and the guys, we plan on doing another live. And what I would say about my future with like social media and technology and things like that is that, all things considered, I'm going to be very busy and very active on a lot of these platforms. I've been really studying, advancing myself in how to communicate in these realms. And I'm going to take full advantage of my natural talents. And so much stuff that I'm about to be doing. And it's good that we had this time of like communicating one-on-one and building one-on-one. But, I'm about to get into my rocket ship and take off, if that makes any sense. So I'm just in that space. And as we discuss this full moon, I want all of us to be in our own rocket ships, in our own trajectories up, because that's what's available to us. And these channels are really cold because I'm going to be able to read some hieroglyphs. I didn't even understand that I was able to read hieroglyphs until conversating with Mayat. And so we'll break down some hieroglyphs, and we'll just unify who we are as spiritual beings, because we need to understand that we are spiritual beings. Much different than listen to somebody reference a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo spiritual terms and trying to, like, build their channel up or things like that. If you know me personally, I do a lot of behind the scenes work. I help a lot of people. Say all of that to say, I'm not here for views. I'm here for applicable spirituality. And because of that, we deal with channels, we deal with downloads, and it's remarkable. Even more so, I'm gonna do a Lovecraft Country breakdown on Wednesday for you guys, and just break the whole thing wide open. Why don't you? Is what will be taking place on Wednesday. But enough. Let's deal with this full moon. Of course, we deal with Sidereal Astrology and Western astrology. The moon will be in Aries. However, I do not feel as though I am ready to move forward quite yet without clearing the shadow, right? And you could be a avid Western astrological follower, and that's what's up. But when it comes to me, if you would reference a lot of my earlier videos when I was doing Western astrology, I would get thousands upon thousands of views. However, I was lying to the people, because the reality was the constellations were not where I said they were. So I was going to reduce a lot of my views, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. It's just where my yacht is. See, a lot of these conscious people don't understand my yacht, so they would lie. And I wouldn't even reference conscious people. It could be anything, because my yacht is very personal. The sun, Ra, is very personal. So when we are able to turn this a little bit. So when we are able to focus on our own personal mayat, what we should do and should not do in a moment-to-moment basis, we are right and exact. That sounds very simple, but when you reference everything going on around you, you might be bamboozled and Simon and Garfunkel into thinking that you're doing something wrong or you're doing something right. Let's repeat. Mayat is very personal. The shadow is very personal. Pisces is the shadow. Pisces, so before I go any further, you deal with Mayat during the sidereal full moons in Pisces and Aries. So even if you were Western, you're still dealing with this energy of Mayat. But we're not even discussing what Mayat is yet. We're just dealing with the astrology. But I'm just kind of setting the table as we go forward. Generally, if I tell you what you're about to eat, you would be more excited to sit down versus to, what, I'm gonna just go get a pizza. I'm not here for ears that don't want to hear. I'm not here for people who are like a lot of people will imagine that they're satisfied in their spiritual understandings. But the reality is that none of us are. So we all must be egoless and hierarchyless when we are in the space of spirituality. It's like in spirituality, there's different rules to the fact that there are no rules. But when you bring it into the 3D, there are rules. But in the space of Mayat, that's the balance between what we think we can and can't do. Like basically a person says, I can do anything. Well, nigga, why you ain't doing anything? Why you ain't smacking old ladies in the face? Why you ain't, throwing babies in the swimming pool? You know what I'm saying? Why you just not doing anything? Because of Mayat. That is the equal measure within each of our souls. So at this particular point, all of our karma is weighed. And all of our unresolved trauma is being brought to the surface. So that's why the energy is a little bit rougher. That's why it's a little bit more cloudy and overcast. They call it in Western life the fall. Like your energy is literally falling. But in a deeper sense, it's all for a benefit. This is Mayat. So it's very important to understand experience, to which that's where I'm coming from. You could say Kyrie, he's very experienced in astrology, not as a brag or boastful point, but you can look at my channel every 2 weeks. I'm either doing a full moon video or a new moon video for now, like the past 4 years. But that was just online. We would have to go 6 more years back where I wasn't even posting shit. It was just my own personal thing. And I did like 2 years where I was just doing Facebook lives, constantly progressing through the new moon, full moon cycle. So when it comes to me and how I deal with this information is going to be a lot different from a person that's new into it. But that's not hierarchy. That's just facts. I don't know if you guys ever played basketball with somebody who's experienced versus, my little 7-year-old son. If a experienced basketball player dusts my son in basketball, it doesn't mean that the shit is rigged. My son, very well, if he practices and brings his focus into it, he will get better. But the ego and spirituality don't mix. The ego would imagine that you don't need experience. You don't need measurement in spirituality. So what you have is a lot of people who are spiritually egoic, to which this time is explicitly harder internally because Mayat isn't something that I created or something that I thought about. Mayat is. To which you can't be mad at other people when they honor their Mayat and you ain't honoring yours. You looking at them to say what they doing right or what they is doing wrong. Hood, I like you. Hood, I dislike you. Listen, I don't really care. I know the shit. I be having to do shit, y'all. I be having to work out and shit. I be having to, feel my lungs about to explode in my chest. Because I'm running and I ain't been doing that much and I'm out of shape. My yacht like, yeah, nigga, it ain't about to happen. Because if you have something that you need to do and you're not doing it, guess what you're going to feel like? You're going to feel like you about to die. Like it's the worst right now. It's the worst because you have something that you need to do. And this is the moon and Pisces. That moon is so extreme to the left that it has to be balanced on the right. So we have the sun in Virgo, which is that perfect balance of extremes This deacon speaks to gain. So that gives me whatever I'm experiencing over here, because the moon is conjunct Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So it's just looking at all of these perceived wounds and then getting to the crux of them. Look, you can't do shit about yesterday. What you can begin to do is take this moment, listen to your inner goddess, your inner Mayat, the womb, right? Y'all love talking about y'all WAP, but let's deal with it. The wounded healer, beat it up, tear it up, wear it out, right? If I beat something up and tear it up and wear it out, am I or am I not wounding it? Right? But you cool with it because that thing just heal on up now, don't it? See, I didn't make none of this shit up. This is all coming from my yacht. Okay? The moon conjunct the Chiron energy is a clear indication that as a man, I have to heal the wound, but my partner has to require and insist that her womb be healed. Why? Because the womb is life. Okay? I do not know what your pastor told you yesterday, but the womb is life. It is how I got here, fam. And I done seen 4 children slide up out that thing in 3D, fam. You can't tell me shit about where life come from. 4 times. I done seen them babies fall up out that thing like, what up, pops? Okay? So the womb is life. So the lack of taking care of that deals with what you're faced with today. Ain't nothing else. I don't care about your... See, look, y'all would really think that the car, crib, house, job shit is going to sustain you. Y'all really would think that. But be listening to my channel all day, every day. I don't know what Hood talking about, but I'm gonna get my goddamn money. Okay? Money ain't gonna help you in this full moon energy. We dealing with medical astrology, and we dealing with the correspondence to Mayat, the correspondences to life force. What is the root to why? The reason why we think we need all of this spiritual mumbo jumbo shit is because we have no connection to the womb. I dare you to say, I have a perfect and healthy, balanced relationship with my womb, and I just be needing a whole bunch of extra shit, Kyrie. Tell me that. Or tell me that you don't have a connection and you're looking for every other thing outside of it to bring you satisfaction. Because we have such a strong feminine resonance because the sun is inside real Virgo. Knee deep in the space of the Virgin, Virgo, Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow. Mary is a play on words. It's Mayat and Ra. Okay? The Virgin, the womb, the creation of life. And I know this shit goes over heads and shit like that, but your attention to detail right now matters. Your attention to your body matters. Your attention to your ma'at or your measure or your experience matters. So young people, keep fucking, keep gaining that experience. Keep dealing with no good ass niggas. Like, that's the only thing that's going to work if that's what you want to do. If ma'at says, fuck with him, sis, fuck with him, sis, because you need to learn that lesson. Get it. But see, I turned 36 today. I ain't got time to be fucking with no floozies in 2020. I heard you catch COVID from that shit. Okay, so the virgin then becomes how you live your life presently, because I can't take back them days in Cleveland, Lord. Oh, let's take a sip for Cleveland. Got to take another sip for Cleveland. Lord, 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 I wasn't shit. And Cleveland was everything before I had a Zor. Once I had a Zor, Cleveland was behind me. But whoa, the fuckery. Spirit Mayat said, boy, you about to have 4 babies. So go ahead and get your little freaky deek on. Like get it going. Cause it's gonna come to a screeching halt. Don't even worry. Cause Mayat say, oh yeah, it's cool. Get out in them streets, Kyrie. And I'm out in them streets. You know, and I'm out in them streets, but I'm out in the streets in a different way, and I'm definitely not going to prison. Right. But see, I would never, ever, 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 ever think about doing the shit I would do 10 years ago. I can't even imagine the consequence, because Mayat said, boy, if you ever even think about doing that shit again, it ain't going to work. See, this is the relationship with Mayat to which you will bring in the energy that you need. And this is applicable spirituality. Nobody can get to you the way that your inner life force can get to you. That's the most divine and perfect relationship. So this is the setup for this actual time. Let me see if I have any more things in relation to my notes. Oh, okay. So in spiritual application, there is a reduction of ambition. Yeah, I had to drink on that because y'all be working so hard talking about spirituality. You know, and it don't even matter about the job. Whatever y'all doing that's stressing y'all out is indicative to ambition, to which the spiritual Mayadian understanding is that everything resonates to the God-like level. But I'm going to get into why you might not feel it or understand it, or might even be outsourcing it or thinking that it's not for you. Because we're talking about measurement. You can't fake measurement, fam. So measuring is more of a preparation of studying, application, critical thinking, application, critical thinking, taking time away from the shit that I want to do. Hood, ain't no right or wrong, hood. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm a fuck with Slim over there because he's skinny. And you know what they say about them skinny dudes, right, hood? He a toothpick. I gotta have it. Hey, go for what you know, right? But in reference to Mayat, we talking about the virgin. Ambition must be succeeded for one to see Mayat. Meaning that if you out here fucking, you out here ambitious, you out here trying to win, you're just not going to see the measurement for which one needs to actually see. And not to say anything is wrong with that. It's just the concept of Mayat is not going to really flex with you because you're the type of person that feel like you can do any and everything that you want, to which cosmic law do not apply to you. However, when the world throws that karma on your ass, throw all that unresolved trauma on your ass, you're going to want to blame everybody around you instead of working on your inner Mayadian concept and figuring out how you can be a virgin perfect in this moment. It's nothing about the past. We can't do shit about the past. We can be right here and now in the present. Because what is Virgo? An earth sign. What is Pisces? 1 second. What is Pisces? A water sign. So this is emotionally present and acknowledgement of the power of the womb. Acknowledgement. Look, the Pisces. These are all Christian motifs. Mary the Virgin, Virgo, Pisces, Jesus, the age of Pisces. Like all of these are motifs, but if you look at them further, they talking about WAP. They talking about the womb, for which we as a society, even as a collective, like I really pride myself on dealing with women with all respect and never being sexual with them. That's why it's like real hard to deal with men, because generally it's like men like the fact that, you know, women like me, and then they use it as like that predator shit. You feel me? And that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If it ever get to a point where, you know, we kicking it, we gonna be friends and friendly and virginal with this shit. Until I know that we are able to deal with this emotional side of everything for which we trying to build. Or if are we even trying to build? Because people will fuck you, right? And then you're fucked. And what's after that? You got to go back to healing again. I don't know what that was about, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. Moving on. Said we're moving on. Peace to the family. Hope everyone is feeling well in their highest of heights or their lowest of lows. It's good to be at your lowest of lows. Why? Because that reality means that you can only go up. To which, if you're at your highest of highs, guess what? Use your imagination, right? So this full moon happens at the Uttara Bhadra Nakshatra, and it is called the Dragon of the Deep. It is signified by comma. I said common, not common, but comma is going after your desires. You got to be so aligned with yourself to go after your desires. And then you have to know how your desires shift with your maturity. I was getting my haircut today, and they had the news on, and it was some old ass ladies, had to be over 50. And they, you know how the news be doing their little fall fashion. They was just like, it's so fun to just throw in these clothes. And I'm like, damn, they still children. Like in their mind, they're like really like playing dress up and shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. They getting guala, getting guap, getting cheddar, getting fettuccine. You know what I'm saying? Tapped into their inner child. But see, when you reference the evolution of who we are as spiritual beings, you can get caught up in this matrix shit if you want, but you miss out on Mayat. Because you actually think that whatever is going on, whatever stimuli you're receiving is in relation to what your ass should be doing. That is what I call thought insertion. And you don't even know the thoughts that you having is even your thoughts right now. Everything is cute to y'all except 10 years later. And then y'all like, I can't even believe I was wearing baby fat. Girl, you remember you used to wear them apple bottoms, girl, you know? So your desires and everything you think is quote unquote cool is a facade, to which when you get into the internal, you tap into this timeless being that goes beyond humanity. And this is real spirituality. Why do you think there's a church on every corner in a black neighborhood? I'll wait. But when you go to the suburbs, it might be a church every other city, town. I'll wait. It is a literal hijack of the fact that you are a timeless being, to which your mind can't even comprehend it. So when we reference ambition and Mayat, they don't read. It's like as you mature, you might even get to this point. But if you 30, 28, 27, you thinking that this next piece of pussy that you're about to get is about to set your life on fire. You know, this next sexual encounter that you're about to have is about to be the bee's knees. To which you'll keep doing that, developing wound after wound after wound till you get to a point of healing. Now you get to my age, 35, 36, you like, all right, what's next? And then you go into the conscious community and people talking about divine feminine energy and spirituality. And, you know, what the fuck is y'all even talking about? At this point, I'd be so confused. Y'all just be talking. The lack of ambition is good when trying to understand yourself spiritually. And then the repetition and exercise and experience of dealing with your spiritual nature is going to increase your measure tenfold, to which you pay attention to yourself in a more divine, direct, real way. Moment to moment is not meditating, is actions. What should I do now? What's the best thing for me to do? Maybe it's sleep. Maybe it's read. Maybe it's watch TV. Maybe it's ad infinite. But you got to ask yourself them questions from moment to moment, because the whole totality of this thing is incomprehensible. Your brain would explode. What you mean? Because maybe it's a million different concepts that you would have to have in place for you to fathom who you are. And you like, wow, that's amazing. Then I'm like, all right, bro, remember a million numbers. Repeat to me a million numbers in perfect succession. Random ass number like 33, 44, 88, 77. And just do that times a million. Could you remember that shit? No, that's too complicated. You can't comprehend who you are. You're too vast. It's too many numbers. It's too many images. It's too much shit. So when you hear a person tell you this shit about spirituality, you got to just be like, well, this person sound crazy as hell. Because the only way I'm going to fathom this shit is in my personal experience, moment to moment to moment. If you go back in the past, you're dealing with trauma. If you deal with the future, you're dealing with anxiety. How do you deal with all that you're trying to manifest, all that you are, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment? And you would say, Hood, now that I've done that, what is that called? Kundalini, my naga. You are raising Kundalini. Well, is it a point in time where, you know, this spirituality, because I got a job, I got kids, I got a girl I'm kicking it to, she in the church. Should I cut it on and cut it off? Well, do you breathe and, you know, do you stop breathing from time to time? No, I breathe even when I'm asleep. Okay, this is what I'm talking about then. These processes, these ideas, not only like, oh, I'm gonna cut on the Dreamwise channel, or I'm gonna cut on the Hood channel, or I'm gonna listen to a Bobby lecture. That shit is superficial and temporary. The reality for which I'm trying to bring about, the work that I'm trying to do, see, my work is going to only hit 10 years from now. I'll be speaking in ways that in present time, people will be like, yeah, that's good, man. That's interesting. Ananta is the deity that sits over this nakshatra. And Ananta is a cosmic primordial serpent said to hold all of the planets in the universe under its hood. Shameless plug. You can't make this stuff up. Ananta literally translates to infinite. Between creation and recreation of the universe, Ananta is to devour all creation. And this Ananta is the Kundalini fire. When we reference the solar plexus, we say we'll sell everything. You can have it all. Take it all. Why are you selling everything, hood? Because I found my fire. I found my passion. I could wake up butt ass naked and know exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't need nobody or no clothes, no image, no nothing. And if I don't know, I know how to find out. Believe you me. Kundalini energy is the death of Maya, it's the death of illusion. You do not get the death of illusion by trying to get a nice house and a nice car and then trying to use your spirituality into it. And then say, for instance, don't let y'all manifest nothing because y'all won't shut up about it. Y'all will be talking about some shit that y'all did 3 years ago when you lit a candle or some shit like that. Like that was what it was about. What you manifested. Meanwhile, it's drug dealers, it's factory workers. I'm looking at some bros down I'm looking at them right now. They cars going in and out. They doing the oil change and shit. Manifesting. Get your ass a job. You trying to manifest some money? They already got that shit covered. When you reference what you're trying to manifest in the spiritual realm, oh, you're going to have to shut everything off or allow everything to be devoured, allow all of the traumas to rise, allow all of the frustrations to rise because they don't even exist in your reality. Why? Because you're too even vast to even fathom. I need y'all to sit with me for a second. You cannot fathom who you are spiritually, to which ambition is just a placemat for everything you think you want to do or don't do. I want to be a ballerina. I want to play in the NBA. And then if you don't do that, you allow this shit to make you feel bad. It's all poppycock, fugazi, flim flam anyway, because the only thing that exists is your mayat and your kundalini fire. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. This is when you decide, shit, I got it going on. But I just need to bring my mind to it. I need to bring my mind towards the spiritual shit and stop acting like y'all acting like I'm just going to carry the spiritual mantle through some shit. No. The only reason I'm here is to share. I'm addicted to sharing my own personal experience. And at the end of the day, I'm literally doing this video for my wife. Because I would want her to understand where I'm coming from. Because if I'm speaking directly to her, she just, it's me, I'm away with my words. I am. But listen, I would tell this to my daughter. I would tell this to my sons. I would tell this to anybody. Raise your damn kundalini and forget it. Y'all niggas out here chasing a bag, chasing a skirt, chasing some gray sweatpants is not going to be the ticket. Why is y'all like lusting after shit? When, you know, in astrology explained, it's a whole section on lust for result. You can't have that in no spiritual practice. You hear because you hear. You want it because you want it. Why do you breathe? You breathe to exist, for which the realization of yourself is most necessary. And everything else comes secondary. For which, if any of that shit is backwards, haha, you feeling it. So let's deal back with the astrology of this situation. We have the full moon in the second decan of Pisces, all sidereal astrology, not Western. For y'all get on here, the full moon is in Aries. We know the sun also being in the second decan of Virgo. So Virgo, Earth, real shit. You feeling it. You seeing it. You experiencing it. Up until this point, niggas was in la la land. For these past 4 months, la la land. Because we got sun and earth, sun and water, sun and fire. You know, you can fake it till you make it. And then when it gets to Virgo, it's like whether it's a catfish or was this your real picture? You know? You said you was a virgin, but it felt like, you know, you said you had it going. You said this was your car, but now you coming over on the bus. What, it's in the shop? Mm-hmm. So this is where real shit. So the relationship since was this October, September, August, July. That nigga you met in July, and now it's damn October, and now you wondering what's so different because y'all, that sun in Virgo, all that good love making, you thought it was going to sustain you. But now you actually have to deal with the reality of all of this shit, which is physicality, which spiritual people don't want to deal with. But this is Mayat. This is measure. Yeah, you have free will, but you don't have free Mayat, my nigga. Because you will say you'll do anything. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because your Mayat say you got to start working on your this. You got to start working on that. You got to start. I'm going to start working out. Ain't that easy to say? That's free will. You don't get free Mayat, though. You don't work out. You at 180 pounds overweight. To which this is the reality. It's like, so in this picture, this lady is like, I want to be larger than life. And it's like, okay, now you larger than life. But now you got to deal with them circumstances and the fact that men be running away. So this is the girl who decided, I'm going to get all of the money. And now you don't got none of the niggas because that ain't nothing that we looking for. We might think that we looking for it. And then if you ever experience a woman tricking off on you, like doing something, that's the most disgusting, degrading feeling a man could ever experience. The feeling of being bought. We ain't programmed for that shit. So generally, you balling, ma? The only type of dude you going to attract is straight up users. And that ain't going to feel good either. So I'm not saying to level up. It's just going to be harder to find another giant like you is all. Right. And that's just the reality. That's just the reality. And then she's exposed and she's pissing. But it's a deeper meaning because we're dealing with the emotions of Pisces. The emotions of Pisces is found in Tarot as a cup. However, the cup represents the yoni. This is the seat of emotions. To which, if your emotions ain't right, then your yoni ain't right. What you say, Hood? And fellas, if you highly emotional, maybe you need to start steaming too, but I digress. Maybe you do, because we can be logical and process some things out. Not saying that we not emotional, but y'all know how it is. But women can get so emotional that they don't even hear nothing of what you're saying. To which the cup represents the yoni. So if you are this lady is perfectly fine with her yoni and perfectly fine with taking a piss. Remember last week we had the kiss my ass quotient. Well, this is, I don't know what this quotient is, but this is just something different. Because this is a release to which what you're feeling emotionally, although it feels bad, you just never been to like Paris. If you look in the background, she in Paris. And if you know anything about Europe, you can piss outside. You could piss on the side of the road and ain't nobody going to look at you like you crazy. However, when you do that in America, you feel all types of wrong. To which what is right and what is wrong other than your inner mayat. That's the only way we're going to know what's right or wrong. So in understanding what is the true cup, what is the true emotion, because 9 represents completion, she letting you know this is all of the emotion that you have. This is the seat of your emotions, meaning that if you have a positive relationship with your womb, fellas, you have a positive relationship with your phallus, right? Y'all ain't ready for this conversation, but I'm going to just give it to you anyway, right? Because a lot of men look at their phallus and they hate it, for its size or lack of size. A lot of women look at their vagina. They don't even look at that motherfucker. That shit be having, a 5 o'clock shadow and shit. Shit be looking crazy, right? To which we want to say, I love myself. Somebody lying. We want to develop a relationship with self. Where is the self located? The womb. This is our life. See, we've degraded ourselves so downwardly because of porn and entertainment and music that we don't even understand the root causes to everything that we feel and everything that we experience, and then a go-between and a gateway to making it feel all better. Water is a symbol for emotion. So once we let go of our emotions, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for this. Once we let go of our emotions, that's true joy. However, when we hold on to our emotions, such and such don't like me, such and such don't want to fuck with me, I'll never be this, I don't like it here, I don't like him, I don't like her. And every day we wake up, like, remember how you felt yesterday? Yeah, I ain't like the motherfuckers. You don't like them again today? Nope. You gonna hold on to that emotion? Yep. All right, then we gonna go through this portal of holding on emotions, and it ain't gonna be fun. You know? So who's truly happy versus who's truly being held back? The person that's truly happy is the person who lets their emotions go. To which this is how we can navigate and really exemplify the balance of this new moon without it being like, where are all of these feelings coming from? Where are all these negative emotions coming from? Where, you know where they're coming from, basically. You know where they're coming from. And part of it is like the logic behind it, the logic between. So for men, self-care is sperm retention. There ain't no logic behind that though. Especially if you program to release. For women, the self-care is womb care and steaming and really taking a practice to ridding yourself of energies that are in that area. There's no logic between how doing that is going to make your life feel better. I don't know the excuse me, the directions between point A to point B. I know for a fact though, by taking care of your internals in a very matter of fact, program detailed way, because we do have free will, but a lot of y'all don't be scheduled with this shit. Or I want to steam, but I be too busy. I try to do the sperm retention, but I get too frustrated. I can't sleep at night. So I just squazzed one out and just said, fuck it, hood. Look, to learn yourself, to process yourself, to move forward with yourself, it takes experience. It takes measure. It's not something that you can just think of. We have free will, but we don't have free mayat. It takes time. It takes careful examination. It takes you going outside of yourself. It takes effort, for which in spirituality, none of that shit is even taught. That's not even talked about. However, if you are able to release your negative emotions, you are able to say, okay, today, tomorrow, the next day is perfect because I'm perfect. The love that I have for myself, I can then love another person. No, you cannot shoot up the club. No, you cannot pull down my pants. No, it ain't even happening. Don't allude to it. Don't insinuate on it. Don't wish for it. Don't fantasize about it. It's not happening. I love myself so much that I can tell you that. People who don't love themselves, they'll play into that shit. Oh, yeah, you like me? Oh, yeah, you know. I mean, people is cheating. Niggas is leaving their family. That shit goes down. So you got to really be firm with that shit. Because the honoring of your sexual organs it goes far and wide for how you can display that or how that looks and how you show up in your relationships. I'll be damned if a person is going to show up in Mayadian right and exactism and fucking around on his wife without his wife knowing. I don't see how that's going to work out. But give it up to these conscious niggas. You can do whatever you want. So I digress. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. Even deeper, the release of emotions don't have you chasing waterfalls like Left Eye and T-Boz. It has you chasing your purpose. But if you are emotional, you really feel that what you're feeling in that moment is right. These apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, is going to kill no matter what day, no matter what time. Look, Nelly, I need 1,000 pair of boots with the fur. I need every apple bottom jean you got. I'm gonna wear this shit forever. This shit ain't never going out of style. This is how I feel, Nelly. 1,000. Run it. See how crazy that sounds? Making decisions on how you feel, positive or negative, to which we have to deal with the physicality on the other side of it. So we have a very large sense of confidence, well-being. I got it going on, right? But if you're emotional, you can't even recognize that. Hello. You could be the most brilliant spiritual being in the history of the world, but Lord forbid you have an ain't shit baby daddy. Lord forbid your baby mama putting you through the ringer because she want to be with you and you don't want to be with her. You just want to take care of your kids, but she just want to be with you, so she putting you through hell. But then you trying to fathom how deep you is as a spiritual being. It won't work. No weapon. I'm just trying to figure out the narrative and how y'all be trying to work it out, trying to be spiritual, but then have all of this emotional, pent up emotion. I don't like this person. My childhood was fucked up. I had a horrible experience. Man, I come here with all of those experience and I lay them bare before you and let you know that I've struggled, I've dealt with loss, I've dealt with grief, I done dealt with females lying, I done dealt with females telling the truth. I done lost good girls, I done lost hoes. I done been there, done that. Where I'm at now is balancing the unfathomable part of my existence with the reality part of my existence. And, after this video, I gotta take off my shirt, throw on my t-shirt, and I gotta figure out some physical exercise. That may sound simple to you, but for me, that's a big deal. I'm a lazy nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm lazy. I don't like. I mean, I used to work out. I used to be buff, but I just got lazy over the years. So, my yacht. you get what you get what you get what you got. A lot of people have been working out every day for the past 10 years. They looking at me like you an idiot. And they right. Be careful what you wish for. Because if you want life, you want existence, you want wealth, you want prosperity, you want all of these things, you're going to be shown everything that they're not. For when you get it, you'll appreciate it. That's how it works. That's my yacht. That's balance. You have to know both poles of the spectrum, or else you're not even going to know. To which a rich person who has everything that a poor person doesn't have, do you think that rich person no longer complains? Fuck no. People will have everything and still be shitty and, woe is me. And people who have nothing will be the most pleasant, most giving, will give you the shirt off their back. And that's their only shirt. See, there is no real understanding of good or bad for real. It is only what we can do from moment to moment. There is no real superiority, especially when even if you elevate yourself and really put the effort in, you're going to be by your damn self. To which, is it that good to be superior? Another thing is that there's going to be a great transfer of wealth that takes place, but the emotional space is keeping a lot of people out of it, whether we reference Breonna Taylor, whether we reference, George Floyd, COVID, a whole slew of emotional pitfalls and then personal loss. But the opposing side to personal loss is always personal gain. And people might be having like real live checks come through real soon. There's a lot of money being distributed. Right? Because the thing about death and the thing about the government is that they be having insurance claims on dead people. And this sounds crazy, but the more people die, the more money that the government make. But then at the same time, the more money people be having. So generally, they like inheritance and things of that nature. That's real. That's always, but that's also karma as well. So also like having a real understanding of timing within the next 9 weeks, you will have this whole shit is switching. Saturn is going direct, Pluto is going direct, Jupiter is already going direct. This whole thing is flipping for the positive. But the moon being in Pisces is the absolute worst that it can be before it gets better. So if you're doing good and you're great, because it's going to get even greater. And if you are doing a little bad and it's a little rough, be a little stronger, be a little bit more reflective in understanding that however you're feeling, it needs to be released. Why does it need to be released? Because there's so much positivity being showered down on you. You're going to want to enjoy it. You don't want to say, I got baby fat jeans for everybody for life, and that be an analogy to a negative problem. This problem that I'm having, I'm going to just always have it, and I don't see it out, so I'm going to just do something drastic. That's what I'm speaking to. Learn how to look at the problems that we face today and know that they'll change. And they'll change so quickly once you honor the Mayadian within. Okay? This is a purely material gaining time. The sun being in Virgo is another saying of the harvest. And this is also inception, where 9 weeks is more of manifestation, but 9 months is an even bigger manifestation. And we not having no more kids right now, so we're just kind of focusing in on manifesting something greater in the realms of like business, so setting those seeds out to really get on this wealth train, to get in this transfer of wealth, to open your mind up to prosperity is all that's available to you. However, clearing yourself of these negative emotions will allow that balance to exist, because emotionally it's emotional, physically it's financial, and if you ain't right financially, you don't got no financial literacy, you paycheck to paycheck, and then every time something go wrong, you feel in a certain type of way, then you don't even understand what we've been talking about as we've been referencing this spirituality. You need to correct that shit first. You need to correct your responses first to even get into the higher realms of spirituality within yourself, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward and read some of these hieroglyphs. How y'all feeling? So we are going to address Mayat in the Metal Netter Volume 1. It says to acknowledge Mayat during these times, during a sidereal Pisces moon. And sidereal Pisces moon and a sidereal Aries moon. So if you look at Sashat in her hieroglyph, and then you look at Anuket in her hieroglyph, and then you look at Mayat in her hieroglyph, you can kind of see that there is a lot of things that are being said about Mayat. So let's first look at Sachet, because the Kemetic reference to Mayat is Sachet, meaning that these two energies are synonymous. But then Mayat and Anuket are somewhat synonymous. So this is where they get the Greek term Hekate, or the triple goddess energy, to where you have Sachet be the maiden or the virgin. Mayat, I always get these confused. You have the virgin, the maiden, and the crone. Okay, so Sachet being the virgin, I think, and I'm not quoting this as Bible, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. The little girl, the woman, and the older lady. Right? So basically, the triple goddess energy. And these are all cycles of what, class? These are all cycles of menstruation. To which, where we deal with the life force of human beings, is centered around menstruation, whether we know it or not. So Sachet, if you flip this upside down, you are what would get is what would look like a clitoris. Okay. And that's what this symbol is. Is in my studies, it's the clitoris. So if this symbol is the clitoris or the womb, you have the entity, and that's me and you, reflecting on this womb. It is not touching it. It ain't licking it. It ain't spitting it. It ain't nibbling on it. It ain't doing nothing. It is meditating on the portal of life, to which the only way that it gets here, because her womb is at the top of her head, right? Meaning that it started down here, but through the process of Kundalini, it raised up to something else. Now, Sashat created hieroglyphs. So the mere observation of your womb gives you messages. Hello. Don't knock it if you ain't tried it. Don't call me crazy if you ain't took a gander at the portal of life. But then y'all be like, it's too ugly. It got hairs all on it. And what kind of mirror can I get? I don't got no mirror that can actually, I don't like it. And then sometimes, you got I got a Rolodex. I'll be thinking about sometimes, people who have positive relationships, they be showing that thing off like it's, like it's a goddamn graduation day photo. You ain't see my kitty cat? This thing purring, So and this is real spirituality. See, this is the shit, right? And you be like, well, Hood, how is you saying that this is real spirituality? How big is OnlyFans right now? How big is porn right now? What y'all gonna do after y'all watch this video? I digress. It's really big. People is really interested in sex, fam. They really want that gushy, gushy, mushy, mushy. It's out here. Y'all tweaking. So your inability to see the divinity in your sexuality without letting a man beat it up, tear it out the frame, right? Discuss, like, whatever. But acknowledging it and allowing that Kundalini fire to bring that energy up. So now when you look at your pituitary gland, tell me that it don't look like the clitoris in the womb. So which is which? When I say the man needs to get his womb together too. His pituitary gland, his master gland. But do you think that fucking a different girl every night is going to get you there? These are just questions. Because we still talking about the sun in Virgo, virgin. Why even be a virgin? To be mean to you or to raise your energy? A or B? Y'all so smart. Like, help me out. Are we to be virginal so we can be evil and cruel to ourselves? Or are we to be virginal to raise our energy? A or B? I need help. Because maybe I'm just tripping and misreading this whole thing. And we supposed to be out here randomly getting it in. See, y'all wouldn't even understand how profound it is to reflect upon the portal for which you came from for all solutions, to which most human beings take this and watch some other people fucking. I say looking at your womb is divine, and now I'm crazy, but it's perfectly fine to look at other people fucking. So when you reference Mayat, we have to deal with some terms. But we'll get there in our next slide. So the Kemetic correspondence of Mayat is Seshat, the Canaanite, The Canaanite correspondence is Sidereal. Good luck with that. The Kabbalistical correspondence is Chesed, which is right across from Gabora. The Yoruba is Aji, the Orisha of wealth. And Indus Kush is Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. So is it a coincidence that OnlyFans is a way to make money? Now that y'all done put two and two together, Mayat is Lakshmi, but Mayat is also Seshat. Seshat represents the clitoris or the womb or the virgin. Mayat is the 30-year-old that ain't a virgin no more. She, that good maturity, when she putting it on you, might come there with the whole lingerie set. Might be telling you, relax, you too excited. Let's just chill, lay down, let me rub some oil on you. Let's have a conversation. Let me set the mood. Let me cut on a candle. That's my yacht. That's a whole different vibe. That's everything. It's too much to even bring into consideration. The planet that my yacht rules is Jupiter. Jupiter rules your hippocampus and your ability to have short-term memories and actually program those short-term memories. The herb to reference Mayat is anise or the anise star, and that's Anise. Anuket represents the older crone-like energy. And a lot of times when we reference in this energy, a lot of women get on here, they feel as though, well, what if I'm going through menopause? How do I raise this energy? And it's not literal. It's not like a point of being, because all of this is happening whether you know it or not. And the small physical things that you experience is just normal to humanity. It's the same as like, urinating or something like that. It's just a normal, natural, biological process. The spiritual part is when you understand its principle. Because if you look at this hieroglyph, she's now looking at a computer screen. And this is the same hieroglyph with small variation of Hecate. Okay, so if you Google the hieroglyph of Hecate, it will look very similar to this, which will get us to the frog goddess, Hecate or Heck, for which is being used by Donald Trump. So when you reference like spirituality and its power, you have to acknowledge that Trump is on some spiritual shit if he can have the whole world really be reconsidering him for a re-election. And I'm not talking about from a Democratic or a Republican point of view. Like, bruh must have been really, somebody around him must have been really mantling on him some spiritual energy to have so much support. And this is all due to, this Hecate energy. And this is like a conspiracy theory that I would have to kind of like show you guys like in a log form to kind of make sense of it. But very simply, Hecate is the triple goddess energy. But this is actually what the Egyptians prophesied of how to raise our DNA in this very moment. See, what we are doing is peering into a computer screen. And what's happening is our DNA is being raised. because we are connecting all of these dots, and we are coming to the understanding that whatever happens subsequently after this moment, we will follow our Mayatian energy. We will follow our inner Mayat. No matter what, we will listen. We will be observant, and our DNA will raise, and we will become all of these. So it's not, well, I'm older, I'm younger, I'm this age, I'm that age. We will all get here one way or another. And this is the opportunity that Mayat presents to us. But final slide, let's discuss what Mayat is definitively. Hope everyone is doing fine, following along. I know this is a lot of information, but just is what it is. And I'll be jumping on this thing one more time with the guys to talk some more chakra work, but it's about to get real crazy on this channel. Go ahead and subscribe or unsubscribe. It don't matter, but we about to get super de-duper lit. Okay, Mayat. Mayat corresponds to the faculty within man wherein it is instituted and experienced the urge to live truth according to the laws of the God within. According to the laws of the God within, Mayat corresponds to the faculty within man. Okay? So when you reference, I didn't even tell me. When you reference Masons and Freemasons, the MA in Masonry is Ma. Because Ma or Mahi is Egyptian for a measure of a cubit. Now, if you know anything about Freemasonic lore or aesthetic, they rely on Egypt. Right or wrong? Put that in the comments. Am I right or wrong? Does, from what you see, from what you observe, do Masons observe an Egyptian aesthetic? Yes or no? Because I don't want to sound like a crazy person when I try to, when y'all be confused about this shit and imagine that, you know, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. So if we are referencing, okay, so we have that. So why is this important? Why do we not get it when we look at white people in secret societies and, you know, black people in secret societies to a lesser degree, and not even secret, but societies, brotherhoods, Eastern stars, what up? You know, y'all getting it popping, but why? Because the concept of Mayat is measurement. So a measurement must have an enemy involved in the conversation, or else it doesn't apply. We must bear witness that the distance between my face and my microphone is 12 inches. If I say it's 12 and you say it's 11, then we must pull out a ruler and then we got to measure it and say, No, and in fact, it is 11.5. It's 11.5. It's 11.5. It's 11.5. We've measured it. We've come to the understanding. It is what it is. This is measurement. This is Mayat. This is spirituality, and the great facade and the great flip is to have people think that there is no measurement, there is no Mayat, but niggas will sit on these platforms and say Mayat this, Mayat that, Mayat this, Mayat that. What are you talking about, fam? Because I'm still confused. Until I got the channel, I was done. I never even referenced Mayat. I say 42 laws. I don't know. So the connection is felt in truth. This is why the Masons have the circle thing, the little circle radio thing, because that represents the only truth that exists, the truth of measurement. But we're not sitting out here with tape measures now, are we? There are actual Masons that are builders, but then there are the Masons that deal with the concepts, but then apply it to esoteric and occult themes, to which the truth and measurement of your spiritual nature, hello, that's a different building. So the unfolding of all events then relies on your personal measurement or your personal experience. And for a lot of people, they haven't even begun. They haven't even thought that they can construct things in the 5-dimensional plane. And however long it takes and however parameters that it takes, and the relationship that you have with yourself and the relationship that you have with your womb and all of these things. It's like, I just go to work and come home and see what's up on Tinder, see what's up with on Plenty of Fish. When I get lonely, I might go to the movies with old boy. It sounds interesting, Hood. But the universe relies on a web and a underlying pattern for which all content is found, for which the lack of ambition with the function of being meditative and applicable and auditory with the divine feminine within Mayat, and having this relationship. If the wind is moving north, it's moving north through you. And you can always listen and in tune with the direction of the wind. This is law. This is natural law. However, your law has to be consistent, to which the only consistent person could be yourself. Because even if you rely on me, sometimes I do videos, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll be busy. Don't rely on me. Don't rely on your girlfriend. Don't rely on Panic. Don't rely on nobody. Rely on your Mayat. Mayat corresponds to the faculty within yourself. Your right or wrong is personal. I could have ran them streets like I did when I did. I can't run them now, and you can't run them now either unless you can. And because there's people running the streets right now because they can. However, when you are constructing, now that I have a family, now that I have responsibilities, I now have to construct things in a particular fashion or form, and that requires consistency. Meaning if I'm building a building and I do 2 months here, I just get some bricks and shit. Or if I say I'm gonna build a building one day, I'm gonna build a building, and then be mad that the building ain't built, or be mad that I didn't focus and really get into the space of creation. I'm not being consistent, nor am I following cosmic laws. And then when you look at the people, they are just simply learning what you already are. You are unimaginable, uncorrespondingable. Made that up, it felt good. Nobody can pinpoint or fathom who you are at a spiritual level. So when you look at these people with hoods and things of that nature, they are just trying to get a glimpse of everything that you are, because Mayat is within you. You don't have to study to become a son of Mayat. You are Mayat. Let me repeat that. You don't have to join a society to get in communion with Mayat, because you are Mayat. Mayat is the daughter of Ra. Ra is not the sun in the sky. Ra is your kundalini. This is where you get Mary, or Mara, or Maya, measure, Maya, the illusion. So if you deal with the true Mary, the true version, the true Ra, the true Mayat, this is the Kundalini fire activated. And this is all you need to be in tune with, because as the moon progressed through Aries, you are now beginning a new life. You are starting a new journey. You need to know how to move forward in that journey. You don't move forward in that journey by listening to niggas, listening to your mom, listening to your family. You move forward by making conscious right and left decisions in union with your aura. And as you grow and as you gain your confidence, be sensitive with your friends and family who are not in this actual process. So I wanted to be really clear with what I had to say. It just ended up being an hour and 30 minutes. So, I thank you guys for your time, your patience, for allowing me to speak. And thank you, for being here. Please share this video. Please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And beyond that, I'll see you guys a little later to talk some chakras. Peace.